Hello everyone and welcome to Werven's World and welcome to my Let's Play of Blockhood. Now Blockhood is a game I played a lot yesterday actually. I bought it, it seemed very interesting because I kind of like these city building logistics kind of things. Plus there's some nature in there, and me as a trained ecologist and evolutionary biologist, I thought that was interesting as well. Unfortunately there's some bugs. In the story mode I can't finish chapter 5 because at some point it doesn't trigger a actual quest even though you've done what it asks you to do. But well, at least I got to level 5 and I think that's the last one. So I have a basic grasp of the mechanics, not in super detail, and I haven't seen all the tiles yet, so there's lots to do. But I think I should be ready for a sandbox mode. I'll put it on ecology, because you can also put it on freeform, but then you don't actually have any production on decay and stuff. It's just really for making it pretty. And I want to, of course, play the game itself. So we can also make a world with a lot of different interconnected hoods and stuff like that, but I'm not entirely sure how that works yet. So I'll start with hood and then kind of get my bearings with the game and then maybe later make a world. So at the moment we can have 10 depth, 10 width, 20 height and 800 maximum blocks. You can change this with a potential thing on frame rate loss, but this sounds as a lot already, and if it doesn't turn out to be a lot, well then we can always start our world and then do it with more. So we will create our hood. So Blockhood is a game where basically everything is interdependent. So you have a lot of buildings that input stuff and output stuff, and basically whatever you change, something else will change as well, and that can become quite tricky. So basically what we have here is absolutely nothing. So we just have our little world here floating in space, and now we want to have humans there, and we want to have animals, and we want to have everything coexisting. And we start off with 150 money and 1000 groundwater. Well, we can now use this to do specific things. For example, if we want to get our first human, we need a small apartment, and for that we need fresh air, electricity, water and leisure. So we need to get those things. So let's start with making some electricity. If we actually click, oh no, we can't do that yet. Once we start making electricity, then we can actually see what produces electricity. But at the moment we can, for example, use a solar panel, which doesn't cost us anything, but it's not very efficient. Or we can have a windmill, which costs us some money, but it's a little bit more efficient in how it creates electricity. And then later on you can also have generators, and you can make oil stuff that makes you a lot of electricity, but then of course you start polluting things. So let's start being a little bit more ecological and putting some windmills. So I'll put, you have to hold the mouse button to build them, and now you can see that my money actually goes down by 0.10 per second, and 0.25 my groundwater goes down. The reason for that, for the groundwater, I'm actually not entirely sure. Let's see. I'm actually not entirely sure why this decreases, because the windmill itself doesn't use groundwater. But in any case, our money goes down by 0.10 because we have money and it uses one money, but that's over its production bar. So you can see this production bar here. So per second, one money is basically 0.05 money per second. So now we have two windmills, so that makes minus 0.10 money per second. Alright, well, so now we are making electricity. However, we also needed fresh air, and we needed as well some water and some leisure. Well, for water, we can make these water towers. They also use money, but they produce a lot of water. Or we can go the more ecological way and just create water like this. However, then it actually costs us groundwater. So we transform groundwater into water and salt water, and so on. But I think I'll just start with the buildings. And we put those here. So now we are actually going to make some water, and that takes a little bit of time. As you can see here, this bar first has to fill up, and then there will be water here. And in the meantime, we can make some fresh air. So something like this actually makes a fair amount of fresh air. However, we can also make the oak trees. Then we get some acorns that attract boars, which is also kind of funny. So maybe we should make some oak trees. So I have this encyclopedia. And if we have boars, which ones are those? Were they here somewhere? Boar. Yeah, so they need 4 trees in a square. That's their habitat. So if I put these 4 trees in a square here, then soon enough we should be getting boars, but also we are actually making fresh air. So now, once we have this, we also have some leisure from the trees. So they create 1.2 leisure each, and they actually buffed each other. So this one is next to 2 other oak trees, and they have a synergy. And these synergies you have to find out for yourself. And now actually our boar arrived, so he's probably somewhere there. There he is, hanging out. So basically these here buff each other, so that increases their production, but not the amount that they use. So now we have enough leisure, so we can finally make an apartment and then someone can move in. So let's have an apartment next to the trees, because people like to live next to trees. As you can see here, this blue arrow means that this one also gets buffed, and that's because it's surrounded by trees and it likes that. So this one here will output labor, grey water, organic waste, and consumers. So we actually get some labor and consumers from them. But now we have to be careful because we're running out of groundwater slowly but steadily. So what we can do against that is we can have a sprinkler that transforms normal water into groundwater. So if we take a couple of those, I'm not sure about all the synergies yet. You can't find them anywhere. You just have to kind of look at it. But now we can actually have another one of these small apartments. And then we can have a corner shop. And a corner shop uses electricity, it uses consumers and labor. And then you get money, community, and inorganic waste. So now we just need to have enough consumers, but we should be getting them from these, because these both make 2.2 consumers. And so that's 4.4, and we only need 4. So basically you can have 2 apartments and then 1 corner shop. So let's build one next to here. Let's see if that's actually adjacent. No, it isn't yet. Yeah, that's one thing I'm not 100% clear on yet, when something is adjacent, because this one is only adjacent here, but this one has these arrows, and it should be adjacent to this, but maybe because this one isn't aiming at that one, it doesn't work. I'm not 100% clear on that yet, but that's not a problem. We can make it adjacent by, for example, just putting, let's say, well, let's put a wetland here. And then we can put, for example, boards here. And now everything is adjacent. So I still have to get a bit used to these adjacency rules. And now, basically, as you can see, we're already creating a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, you can't really sort these in any proper way, because this actually gets quite confusing at some point. But now we are making money as well. So we're making quite a lot of money, but we're also using quite a lot of money because of these. So ideally we would want another one of these shops, but then we also need to have more houses, because now we're taking away a lot of consumers already. And for houses we need more electricity and more water and stuff like that. So first we need to make some more electricity. So if we click on electricity, we can see there's an I here everywhere, and that means that they're input electricity. So these things need electricity. This one has an O. So actually it's a greenhouse that produces vegetables and electricity, but it needs fertilizer as well. So let's make one of these greenhouses. They're nice. And let's put it here. So now we actually get a little bit of electricity, but not much. But the main reason I wanted this is for the vegetables later on, and now we can already build up some stock. So how else do we make electricity? Well, we can have a solar tree, which uses a lot of money, but then creates community and leisure as well, because it's pretty. We can have windmills, we can have this oil generator, but I don't really want that. And let's see. We can have ethanol generator, so we need ethanol for that, which we don't have. And that's about it for the moment. So let us make some more windmills, I guess. There, now we have some electricity again, and maybe make another one. So now we are losing again more money, but now we should have enough stuff to make 2 more apartments. And with 2 more apartments, we can make another corner shop. And now we're all in the positive, but that's not necessarily a good thing, because as you can see here, we're getting gray water, and that is wastewater, and we want to get rid of that. I kind of wish they would have put these into different tables, but they haven't. So there's also inorganic waste and organic waste. So with the gray water, we can use these algae farms, and then we can turn gray water into algae and water. So that's actually quite nice. So if I have greenhouse gas, it will also use some of that, but I don't have any at the moment. So let's put an algae farm here. Also, we are getting quite a lot of organic waste. We can turn that into biogas and fertilizer, but we also need water for that. Well, this one here is outputting a lot of water, so if we put this one next to it, it actually gets a bonus. I happen to know that from the campaign. So as you can see, they like being next to each other, and that means that their production is being increased. So now the organic waste is decreasing. That can be dangerous, because if my building doesn't have access to any organic waste for a long time, then it actually gets destroyed, and I have to I basically have to rebuild it. So that's not necessarily a good thing. Now our town is starting to shape up already. So what do we want next? I guess we want to have some children and schools, because we need some education. However, we can already get them a little bit educated by having this here, the newsstand. It makes up some money, and it gives us community, because people like to hang out there, I guess. And it also gives us a little bit of knowledge. So let us put that somewhere. Maybe next to this one here. So now we're getting some knowledge. However, now we're running out of consumers, so we need to make more consumers. And consumers are, for example, produced by large apartments and small apartments. But I think I want a large one, because then we also get some youth, and then we can put them in school, and then everyone's going to be happy. So let us put this one here and have it attached. And then we can actually maybe already make a school. What we can also have is a library somewhere here, which uses community and electricity, and it makes knowledge. But a school gives us community and knowledge, but much more. However, it does need a fair amount of youth. It needs 2 buildings worth of youth. No, actually more than that. So basically, we're also running out of fresh air. So this is basically the entire game. You keep running into problems that you need to solve because you want to expand. So now we're running out of fresh air and leisure. So if we click on leisure, for example, we can click on here, and all of these things put out leisure, because people like to hang out next to trees. So we can have this one, it gives a lot of leisure, but I think there was a nicer one. This one? Yeah, this one gives a little bit of fresh air, but it also gives us cotton, and it gives us raw cotton. So we don't actually have to make a cotton plantation, which I guess is nice. So let's have some of these. Do people like to live next to this? Yes, they do. Perfect. Now, as you can see, we're running a little bit out of groundwater, but we have a big storage. So this is not necessarily a priority for us to solve. So the next thing that we'll do is, let's see. Sorry, I had to pause the game because there was someone at the door. But now we can continue, and now I have to see what I was doing. I guess we wanted to get... What did we want to get? We need to get rid of this organic waste and inorganic waste. So what can we do about it? I think we can make plastics out of it somehow. Which is here. Yes. Here we take inorganic waste and organic waste, some electricity and some labor, and then we made sorted waste. And from the sorted waste we can make plastic and fabric, and then we can make other things with that. So maybe we should do that. So later on we can start building vertically, and then we actually need some support structures as well, because there is a strength value, which is this one. So this is all strong, but once we start going vertically and we kind of have bridges going over this without support, then that doesn't really work. So we do need to keep that into account at some point. So now this inorganic waste and organic waste is going down quite quickly. So maybe we want to make some more of it. And we can make more of it by... This one needs oil, knowledge, youth, plastics, electricity, makerspace. The garment sweatshop, clothing retailer, possessed food. Yeah, so What made the organic waste? These ones. Okay, so just buildings and corner stores. Maybe I'll continue with that for now. And how much youth do we have? We do have plenty of youth still, but that's because we don't actually have a second large apartment in order to get us enough youth for the school. And the school is somewhere here, and it needs 8 youth, so that's 0.4, and now we have 0.33, so we basically need another output of youth. For example, this corner apartment, which also makes some organic waste and wastewater. So, why not? Let's put that one here, next to the tree, and it likes to be there. So now we have enough youth for a school. They don't like being next to a school. I expected them to like that, but apparently not. So we can make a flower garden, so we can actually have some bees, and I think that should be able to connect this as well. Yes, it does. So everything is connected still, so everything is reachable. We are running out of groundwater, we are running out of leisure, and actually leisure is going quite quickly. There is a playground somewhere. And a basketball court, which actually just costs us some community, and we have enough of that. We have 0.35, and this is 3 times 5 is 15, so we only would lose 0.15. And we need 2 of these actually, so we actually will lose 0.3. But we have enough for that, so let's make a basketball court, why not? Maybe next to these here? There we go. And now there's a basketball court. And we might actually get a basketball or a sporter or something from that, because you have different people that you get, and you can see how happy they are. So we have a security guy from the shop, and he likes these things, but he doesn't like these things. So he doesn't like organic waste, and if it's above 50, he gets unhappy. And we actually have probably, yeah, we have more than that. So what can we do about organic waste? We can turn it into fertilizer, or we can turn it into greenhouse gas and sickness. Basically, this is just a way to get rid of it, a landfill. We can have a fish farm. We can output fish. That would be nice. I never used that. So let's have that here. I think I'll start putting in some support structures. I'm not sure where they should be, but I'll put one here at least. And then maybe we can already have a stairs up, so that we can actually go to the second floor. We can also have an elevator, which will cost us money and electricity. And how much electricity do we have? We're actually losing quite a lot of electricity. So let us find a way to output a lot. And there are some ways, such as this one, the Incinerator, which uses inorganic waste, which we don't have plenty of, unfortunately. But we do have biogas, I think. Do we have that somewhere? Biogas, quite a lot, actually. So we just need biogas and money, and we'll get a lot of electricity, but also some pollution, so that's not great. But it also won't be the end of the world. But now we solved that problem. Unfortunately, we don't have enough fresh air, and it just keeps on going. So I think I want some of these, because then we can actually get bears. And if I remember correctly, we need a square, and then this needs another square, basically. Let me double check that. Bear, what looks like a bear. Is this a bear? That's a bear. Yeah, so that's a square, and then one of those, the cornerstones, is also a square. So we'll put that in here. It will cost us a lot of groundwater, because these trees take a lot. But they will give us a lot of fresh air, and they will also give us some wilderness. Here we go. That should give us plenty. So now we are running out of groundwater quite seriously. So we should make some sprinklers. Do we have enough water? We do have quite a lot of it. So let us make some sprinklers. I might put a support here. And then, how is the groundwater? Yeah, so that's really a shame that you can't properly sort this. Maybe we should click on it and see. This actually gives us a fair amount of groundwater, but it also gives it also uses organic waste, which I don't want to use at the moment because we're already running out of it, basically. What things like sprinklers? They don't like sprinklers. Wow, we really need a lot of groundwater now. So maybe these sprinklers, they actually output a fair amount of it. There's no other way. Yeah, just soil gives us groundwater and fertilizer. Ah, these ones. Yeah, right. We can make canals. I'm not sure if that is a biome for something, but let's just make a small canal here. Like a little bit of a pond. Looks pretty. But we will need some inorganic waste soon again. Otherwise, we will have problems with... Maybe we should start making it a little bit less ecological. We can put a oil thing here. So we get a lot of oil, and now the inorganic waste is in balance, which is nice. But we also need to get some more organic waste. And in order to get that, we could go for a brewery. So, but then we first need wheat field, which again uses, of course, groundwater. But now they boost each other here, so that's good. And then we'll be making a bit of wheat so we can make a brewery. First, this one needs 2 wheat, so that's 0.10. So we actually get wheat at some point. No, what's this? Deer herd. Trigger over 200 wilderness. Where was the wheat? The wheat. I'm probably missing it. Really? Am I that blind? It already has produced, right? Yes. Wheat, there, 0.24. Okay, so we can make a brewery. Which will give us some organic waste as well. That's nice. It's kind of weird that we're wanting more waste, but that's how it is. So now we need more water again. It never stops, but I think I'll put this episode to a stop here for now. I think we've been playing for quite a bit. So next time we will continue, and maybe we'll start building vertically a bit and see how we can get this community growing. So I hope you had fun, and see you next time.